What will you experience at a Knock'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knock'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
I had an awesome time.
All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knock'em Dead Comedy for your event today.
The Knock'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock'em Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and...
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag, it gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knock'em Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully you'll get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
All right, we're on, and it's craziness already. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knock'em Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us here on Twitch. Please share the show all over the place. Share the link on your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club podcast, whether it's here on Twitch or on the YouTube channel. What am I doing here? Oh, there we go. I'm trying to get that going up there. There you go.
I know I'm short. But hold on, people. Oh,
what's the matter?
No, I'm good.
Are you good?
Yeah, now I'm good.
Lisa's here, everybody. Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we are.
We had audio. We did not have video. Now we have video. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Hello, Ken Pichelle. Hello, Johnny Lambros. Thanks for tuning in. All right, real quick. Lisa Melazzi is here. Say the last name. Say your name backwards.
Oh, which one? Is Alem? Asil? Well, I was Lisa Grillo, Storms Melazzi. There's a lot of them.
Oh, can you do all that backwards like that?
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot. Is Alem, Smrats, Olerg, Asil. So, yeah, thanks, everyone. It was nice seeing you all. I'll leave now because I just embarrassed me.
Lisa has a talent of being able to say words backwards like within seconds. And I won't. No, I'm not trying to embarrass you.
No, I know.
And I'm not going to, beat this like a baby seal. But there is one name that there is right here. I usually have a co-host on Fridays. This is Andy Plajanos. He's a great guy, great comedian. He couldn't make it today.
So now I'm Andy.
You are Andy. Andy's last name is Plajanos.
Well, how do I?
Right. So what do I got to do? I have to spell it?
Sonagelp?
What? Say it again.
Sonagelp. I think so.
It's PL again OS. Basically, is the spelling.
All right. Wait.
I think you nailed it when you said it.
I did.
I think you did.
That's why I'm like rethinking it. Wow, that was a hard one. Like real words I can do that Give me a word. I'll go. Look.
Any word? All right, governors.
Really nothing in here. Sranev Rag. No, Ag.
Yeah.
Sranev Rag. That was a hard one. It sounds almost like Yugoslavian or something, right?
It does.
It's like some, I don't know, what do you call those? Germanic type, Teutonic.
You're using
languages.
Big words. I don't really, yeah.
Well,
We both had a Hicksville education. I don't know where you're getting these big words from.
I was on the A track.
That's true.
Remember? I was in the honors. So.
Yes. You went to France and shit, I remember, too.
Yes.
Hello, Jeff Bosey. Ken Pichelle.
Bosey.
Ken Pichelle says, say Knock'em Dead comedy backwards.
Oh, come on.
That's got to be tough.
I can. Yedemak, conk. So go ahead. Conk.
That's impressive right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. And can I show this?
Yeah.
All right.
And I love when people try to trip me up.
Oh, really?
Well, it's always at a party and everybody's drunk and they're like, spell this. How do I know you're doing it right? I'm like, you don't.
Well, that's true, yeah. So I don't see.
What?
Sometimes Chris Thomas watches. Chris Thomas, and she's been in here many times. You guys all know her, Chris Thomas, and I've talked about it a million times too. Chris Thomas. The connection to Chris is that her brother Brian was one of my closest friends, and you believe this year will be 9 years?
I know.
He passed away 9 years ago. So Lisa.
What a loss, too. Like,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, not that other people dying and passing are not a loss, but like I don't want to discount the others.
People are not a loss.
But I mean, some of them we could just let them go, you know.
Yeah, there are some that just won't be missed.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, or minimally, and we just. But like Brian was just such a huge presence in terms of physical and everything else. Like
he was so many people
his
said
heart.
he was larger than life.
Yeah.
He was this, he was that.
He really
in this
was.
case, it totally
and his
fits.
Heart was just the biggest heart, and I can't describe. The world just would have been a much better place had he still been in it.
Absolutely right. I mean, wonderful. Yeah, just a wonderful giving man.
And funny,
hilarious to be with.
Hilarious.
It was all about his 4 children.
Yep.
He was He was a guard at Nassau County Jail.
But did all kinds of charity too.
Yeah,
he makes us look really bad.
Did a lot for Wounded Warriors, and he was involved in a lot of. What was the other one? The babies. Yeah, that was weird. Safe Haven or something.
The like Hope. They were. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that now, but it was a organization where instead of having like an abortion or something, you have the baby. They help you find a home for somebody who wants to adopt the baby.
They all were named Hope. Their last names were like Hope.
Right. Yeah.
And he started whatever. It was just amazing.
So Lisa was nice enough to bring in a picture from her high school graduation. We graduated from Hicksville, and the reason she brought it in, behind her there, that's Lisa in the front. Behind her, the guy who's not in the graduation gown, the guy who's putting his hand out, that's Brian. So I'm hoping Chris Thomas. I'll have to text Chris later and
because this is a picture nobody's seen. Like we've all seen the ones in the yearbook, and we've all seen the ones.
In fact, I'm just gonna.
Please ignore my
picture.
80s frizzy hair. Remember, it was.
What was it? 89.
89. June of 89.
Me and Brian were 88. Let's see.
And I think that's Tom Gray over there and Linda Green. Oh,
and the
that
red,
makes sense that all the G's were together.
That's true, right?
Gray.
Yep, that's Tom Gray there. Linda Green back there.
Yep.
And this guy I recognized, but I can't remember his name.
Jim. Another Jim. It'll come to me. I think he was an H.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that was really cool, and I was hoping Chris was watching so she could see
such
it.
a crazy thing that picture just was randomly fell on my floor out of my closet.
Oh, that is weird.
It was very strange.
Wow.
Out of all the pictures that could have fallen out. And I just put it on a shelf. And
wow. Yeah,
all of a sudden I'm working and I look up, because I do work from home part-time. And I look up and there he was. It was just so strange.
And Chris, his sister, is a big believer in signs like that.
Oh, I am. And the funny thing was, that day you had posted up the literal sign.
Well, it was his birthday. So that happened it was his birthday. I posted something the other day for his birthday.
This was before that.
Oh,
you
okay.
had posted a sign, like somebody had gone to.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
But it was that day.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
oh, that's weird.
It was a literal sign that you posted, and then this.
Some friends of mine went down to Nashville, and they went to see some band, and
that was it.
One of the guys performing, and they had the big billboard behind him on stage. His name was Brian Thomas.
I know.
I was like, holy shit. So, of course, I posted that.
I just thought it was fitting because it was just his birthday. And
his birthday
just talk about
this week.
him a little bit because he deserves to be talked about. So
yeah, he's definitely
he's not one of the others that we're just going to let
go. Yeah, right. The other, man, I don't know about your class, but I know my class, and I know if you tally up all the classes from the late 80s, we've lost a lot of freaking people.
Your class dropped like flies.
We're in well into double digits.
In very good shape.
What?
You are. You're like in good shape. Like you're yeah. But you are. But you take care of yourself. You know, you're not a smoker. You don't drink.
Well, that's true. I've never been a smoker or a drinker. Never.
No.
So I guess that's a good thing. But I eat a lot of chocolate.
That's all
That's
you
bad.
do. That's
And French
your
fries.
One vice. I know. And like, that's all you eat, though. It's weird. Or hamburgers. Every time he came over to my house, it was like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, all right, got to get out the chop meat because he doesn't eat anything else.
Here comes that pain in the ass again. But you had the coolest parents.
Yeah.
And
They're still
so you do.
hanging
Yeah, still
in,
do.
you know. I mean, everybody else younger than them is dropping, and they're still
Yeah, good for
there.
them.
So, yeah.
And I always, working here is this is almost like a full circle moment because the first time I ever saw the big Andrew Dice Clay special, the one where he does all the nursery rhymes and stuff, the one he's known for, first time I ever saw it was at your house. So whenever he's here,
Right.
I remember you had a big party. There was a whole bunch of us, and we sat.
Yeah.
I never even heard of the guy. Remember sitting back
It
watching.
was my
like,
brother.
What in the world?
I
Oh, is
think,
that what it was?
Wanted to get that, or whatever and he was.
I was blown away. I
I've
was
seen Dice like no less than 5 times.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't like Eleanor.
Oh, Eleanor's fantastic.
She is great.
And a hell of a nice person too. She's been in here, and she's hung out with us in here.
So I enjoy when they're together.
Yeah.
But he did comment on me a couple of times because I'm always in the front row. I'm like,
Right.
I'm going to see Dice. My husband's a huge fan.
Right.
So
What did he say?
He. Well, of course, he said, you know, look at you. You know, I bet you could, you know, suck the chrome off a tailpipe. So I was like, well, just ask him. That's who I'm with.
Yep.
And my husband's like, thanks a lot.
Well,
You know,
I applaud that, yeah,
And he did say something to my husband. He's like, look at those knockers, or whatever he called them at the time. And he's like, if you're not shooting
Oh.
5, whatever he was saying, 5 loads a day, I'm here to help. Because I mean, he was looking right down, you know,
Right,
into
right.
them, and they were there and whatever. And
They are there.
so it was very much a compliment. I was
Absolutely.
anyone else I would have knocked unconscious, you know. But because it was Andrew Dice Clay, I was like, yay, he likes my boobs, you know.
That's your claim to fame. Andrew
yeah.
Dice Clay likes my boobs.
Graduate 7th in high school, you know, graduate college
Yep.
summa cum laude, and my proudest moment is that Andrew Dice Clay was enjoying my breasts.
Next time he's here, we'll have to get you back and be like,
Yes.
hey, you remember? It's me. Or it's them.
Yeah. Don't look up here. You won't remember me.
Right, exactly. Let's
Good
see.
times.
Tulsa backwards, says Johnny Lambros, is a slut.
Yes, that's awesome. And race car is race car. So
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, look
I think
at
those
that.
Called like palindromes or something. I'm not doing good with words. What did we say before?
Oh, yeah, what was it? Yeah, I don't even remember.
Aristocrat or something. I don't know.
A slut backwards is
Authoritative.
$100. Oh, yeah, what is it? Is it authoritative? Is it authoritative?
We're going with authoritative. We would like to know what
Yeah.
everybody else is. It authoritative? Authoritative?
Authoritative?
Authoritative. I'm not doing it backwards. Can't even do it forward. So.
A slut backwards is $100. The more you know, and knowing is half the battle.
I love it.
Jeff Posey, hello, Tony. Inquiring minds want to know. Want to know what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Ken Pichelle. Oh, he said Ken Pichelle likes to call me out when I say cities, when I mention cities, because he used to do ads for us right here on the show, and he used to it became like a little bit of a running joke. But he called me out on saying Nashville, but he did it. He said he wrote it backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Love the Jack and Jill rhyme, says Vicky.
Oh yeah, that's the best one.
Oh, Dice.
The Dice, yeah.
Vicky's from Hicksville. Vicky Ramical. She graduated in Vicky, was it 86? Yes, she was 86.
Okay.
No, you don't know?
Don't
No?
think so.
Okay.
Well, I was still in junior high. Remember, we didn't switch to the 9th grade.
That's true.
We were 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Wait a minute, you guys are the same age, says Posey. Yes, Lisa, she's only a year younger than me, but yes, I know she looks like she's in her 30s. I get it.
No, I think he's saying that you look younger, Dopey.
No, that's
I'm
definitely
allowed to
not what
call
he's
him
saying.
Dopey.
Love breasts. Spring is in the air. Absolutely right.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. That is the best. Yeah. There's nothing better than going to a ball game and seeing hot women. You're like, oh, she's hot and she likes baseball.
Right. I understand that.
Yep. Naomi backwards is, well, you know, I moan. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I was waiting for it to click for you there.
Yeah.
Like-
It takes a minute. That was like when Tupac was killed. Tupac backwards is kaput.
Yeah.
Yeah. Palindromes.
Palindrome. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. Yes. So
Thank you.
The Hicksville education does not. Yeah.
It only goes so far. You have to understand.
Yes, exactly. And you're Hicksville. You're kind of where I'm like, oh, I had a great childhood. You're kind of on the fence with that, right? With Hicksville. We don't have to get too personal.
I mean, you went to, where'd you go? East Street?
Oh, elementary school?
Yeah.
No, I went to Dutch Lane.
You went to Dutch Lane.
Because
why though? Like I was in between East Street, Willett. You were like between Dutch Lane and East Street, and
you moved. I moved.
Right.
Right. I lived in the A section
Yes.
off Levittown Parkway until I was 12, which was the year I was going into junior high. So yeah, we moved.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I would have gone to East Street if I
You would
lived
have,
where my mother still is. She's still there.
I know.
Your
Well, so
parents
my
are still.
parents are
They're still in the same
there.
home.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Willett Avenue isn't there anymore. So
Right.
Willett was very, very tiny, and it was very. They did a lot of like. I don't want to like say experiment like that weird show, like the Montauk experiments. It wasn't like that. But we had a lot of gifted and talented. Like everything was a pilot there. Even learning French, that was a pilot program. Like
I failed French with a 36.
That's frightening.
I got an 18 on the final.
But well, isn't that just like your name?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
I probably wrote it in
Antoine? I
English.
mean, like,
no, I
what-
wrote it in English. Probably.
That's what I'm saying,
He gets
yeah.
18 points for that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Sorry. So I didn't mean to
Wait,
interrupt
who was
your
your
story.
teacher?
Oh, well, I didn't.
I blame the teacher.
I didn't think she. With all due respect, I didn't think she was that great of a teacher, and I wasn't. And I was having a hard time getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very fast and was moving quick, and I quickly fell behind. And she wasn't.
Was she attractive? Yeah, see, they can't even blame it on that. Distracted you. No, she was just okay.
No, I actually
aren't meant to teach.
And but I actually went to the guidance counselor and said, "I'm falling behind. I need help, or you got to get me out of this class."
Yeah, I did that with sequential 2 math.
And it was really strange.
Three, everybody.
Three?
Sequential 3, yeah.
It was really strange because usually switching classes was usually not a problem.
No, it really wasn't.
But for some reason, I don't know if maybe the guidance counselor thought I could do this. I don't know what it was, but he wouldn't pull me out of this class.
18.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I said, well.
That's actually a number that you could.
Yeah.
They don't even round that up to like.
Well, the thing was, I got so pissed off and I fell more behind, I eventually just stopped going. I remember going to my mother, telling her, "Ma, I cut a class." I was in 7th grade, scared shit. I was like, "Ma, I cut a class."
Oh, so this was junior high.
This was 7th grade.
Ooh.
And I got to the point, and I kept going to the guy. I was going to his office every morning. Before that class, I would stop at his office. "Pull me out today?" "Nope." "Okay." And then I would go. Wow. But eventually, I started saying to him, "Look, I'm just not going to go anymore." And I would fight with the teacher because I would ask. Once in a while, she would say, "Okay, extra help today." But it just wasn't enough.
Throw you a bone?
Yeah. And I stopped going. And I went, like, there would be weeks where I wouldn't go. And it was really strange because nobody was writing me up. I wasn't getting in trouble for it.
Again, it's Hicksville. It's just not, it was just.
Very strange. And it was second period.
Cracks everywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
To fall through.
And I remember it so well. I would end up, and I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't go smoke. Yeah. I would go to the library. I went to the library and I would do homework for the other classes. Like homework that was given the night before. All right. Well, I've now
spite homework because you were
pretty much spite homework. So her name is going to bug me, but I remember it became a problem. Whenever I did show up, she gave me attitude, and we didn't get along. But I did bump into her.
Of course you did. You bumped into everyone.
I know. I hear that all the time, but it was probably about, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago. I went to see Mr. Scalia.
Okay. Well, he was great.
And he was doing. He's a painter, and he was.
Yep.
His work was on display somewhere. I forget where this was, and this teacher was there.
Oh well.
Miss Goldberg, that was her name. Goldberg.
I remember her.
Do you?
Mm.
I walked right up to her. I said, "Miss Goldberg."
A bigger woman, I think.
No.
No.
Blonde.
Blonde. No,
Glasses.
Now I know who. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I know. I'm sorry. There was another G. I'm thinking of Gelberg.
Oh yes, Miss Gelberg, and I've actually seen her too.
Yes. I remember Miss Goldberg.
I walked up to her and I introduced myself and I said, "I don't know if you remember me or not." And I went through the whole thing. I said, "I just wanted to apologize. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I don't know if it, I hope it didn't have any kind of reflection on your job as a teacher." I said, "But, looking back, I don't know if I would have done anything differently, but I just wanted to apologize." And she looked right at me and she said, "I have no clue." And I was like, "Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect."
How do you not I would remember that.
Or
I
maybe
could
she just
fail
didn't.
This child.
Or maybe she just didn't want to.
Like, no.
Yeah, maybe she went home and like had convulsions.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but she just looked at me and said, "I have no
Were you
clue."
the only one, or were there others that were?
I don't. Even, I was there so little that I don't even know. I have no idea.
Class.
I couldn't even tell you who was in the class. It was awful.
I never even knew you took French.
Yeah, 7th grade.
Well, we were like these little guinea pigs, if you will, because it was a very small school, and we bordered Jericho.
Right. Yeah. True.
So that was where the money was coming from.
Right.
I didn't belong there because I was literally on the other side of the railroad tracks, and I just did not really fit with that. So I always kind of felt a little, odd and distanced. I was very far away from the school. Everybody was a walker, not that walker, but they were a walker, and I took a bus, and it just was odd. That's all. And I don't know. But high school and all, I had a blast.
Oh, all right,
I was
good.
thinking on the way here, like I just wish. If I had 3 wishes, one of them would be to just go back to the 80s and high school for just not even a day. I want a week.
Really?
Oh, I want to tease my hair. I want to spray the Aquanet and the stiff stuff, and I want to just live in that moment again.
Get into an IROC.
I would love. Well, I didn't have one. Did you know one?
No, I had an
Oldsmobile Omega. It was my grandmother.
I had a Chevette scooter.
That was my first car. It was my grandmother's poppy red Omega. So, I mean, you saw that from space. So. My parents were like, oh, you buy a sports car, you're going to get pulled over. I'm like, well, not in this boat, I won't.
Right.
Orange. The tassel hanging.
Yep.
Ma, they can see me pretty far away. Big hair. But wouldn't it be great? Those were good times.
Those were great times.
I remember sitting, like, just, you know what my biggest memory, all right, all of these memories of high school, we were in plays, we did this, I went to France. You know what my biggest memory is? Sitting in that stupid foyer in the front, leaning up against the wall, waiting for, like, the late bus, or whoever's parent was going to take pity and come get us.
Right.
And just sitting there, the big denim notebooks, those denim looking, the loose leaves.
Yep.
Doing our homework, just bullshitting and talking about like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there was no cell phones. Nobody was.
Right.
I work in a high school right now. And I have to tell you, there is no communication. I see these kids go outside. I'm like, oh, look, they're outside. They want fresh air. Every single one of them separates. They come out in a group and then they separate and they're on their phones.
But are they talking to each other?
No. Maybe they are through the phone.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. But the observation has been, I feel like Marty Stauffer. Like I'm observing them in their element, and it's not a good element. I'm like, this is just not the way we were. We were like literally on top of each other and in each other's shit and and like, what's the matter? Are you all right? What's going on? What happened to you today? What And we talked about it.
But it's weird. See, I used to. The video games when the kids first started doing.
Yeah, I was not into that.
I mean, I was never a little bit, but not really.
Yeah,
but I'm saying now. But I'm talking about now. Yeah, me too. When they can sit at home and still talk to each other as they play their games. Yeah. See, that used to bug me. But then I'm like, well, you know what?
At least they're talking.
At least they're talking to each other.
Right.
And then they would, tell each other how to find each other on social media. And then I've noticed, and I could be wrong with this, but when I when I'm looking at this, they'll have contact with each other through their social media, and then when they do see each other in person, I've seen it with my son with people he's never met except for social media, but the first time they meet in person, they immediately go into a conversation.
Really?
Like they know each other. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's just the new norm. It's different. It's not how I prefer to do it, but that's just the new norm. But if it is translating to in person, because there are certain times you have to interact with people.
I would hope.
Right. So I don't know. That's just been my observation. Maybe that's
a good observation, though.
But I don't know if it's accurate. But
I don't either. That's why I said I got to be a little more.
But it would bother me.
A little more research.
It would bother me if I look out there and see a bunch of kids on a schoolyard and they're not talking. I'd be like, come on, somebody say something.
Right.
Laugh.
I want to yell over there or something. Get off your phone.
Yeah. I mean, I did. I said it a million times. I wouldn't change a thing about my childhood. I loved growing up in Hicksville. Loved it. And a lot of great people.
Yeah.
I'm actually, and I've told the story before. I'm actually glad because my father took off when my mother was pregnant with me. And I'm glad he did because I wouldn't have had this great childhood in Hicksville if he stuck around.
Well,
and
that's definitely seeing it.
Yeah.
The positive and the cup half full.
Exactly.
And I loved it. I just, I think my earlier years, I got bullied a little bit, because I was smart. And I'm not patting myself on the back. It's just one of those kids that was labeled smart. So, it's like a reverse
It's all right to
bullying.
say you're smart.
Right.
It is kind of reverse bullying. You're right.
It is. It's like because I didn't want to raise my hand. I remember I ran into, I think it was Noel Goldberg. How many Goldbergs today? What is it? Because it's Passover? I ran into Noel Goldberg, and I believe he became a psychiatrist.
Oh, really?
Like the full-on medical one. So
Oh.
I'm like, of course, he seeks the nut out me. And he told me, he goes, you know what I remember about you? I was like, oh, enlighten me, please, Noel Goldberg. And he said, you would always dumb yourself down. I was like, wow, he is pretty good. So he said, you would dumb yourself down. I'm like, I didn't really interact with him all that much. Again, he was in my homeroom, the G's. And I mean, I was friendly with him, and we were in a couple of classes. I don't remember him observing me
I was about
to
to
this
say
extent.
Yeah.
And he said, and it bothered me because you were such a smart, bright girl.
Wow.
I was like, he was disturbed by it. So he said, and you would dumb yourself down to kind of try to fit in.
But that's a lot of studying of you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking from this.
I'm taking it though that he was like already like this like psychiatrist in training, and
My goodness.
and it was very observant, and it really hit me. Obviously, years later, I'm like, maybe I did do that. Maybe I did to try to fit in, and now it's different. So that is a good spin on things today. Like now, to be a nerd is
True, right?
Popular, but back then in the 80s it wasn't. So
no, that's
anyway, that's my sad story of whoa. But that's when I told you about like my take was a little different until I got more into like stuff with you and Brian and everybody else, and you guys kind of and all of us started hanging out and just
that was it for me too. Getting into plays and getting to know you and Brian,
hanging out in the chorus room after, and like I said, in that was a group of us, and we just kind of gravitated.
Yeah. That's where I belonged. Yeah,
I never felt more at home than I did in that.
And I was just talking about it recently. I forget if it was on here or at home, but it might have been in here last year when they dedicated the auditorium to Chuck Arnold.
Yeah.
And I got to speak, and basically that was like what the point of my speech was. I felt so at home. I found myself through working with that teacher and a few other teachers and a bunch of friends. And it's, like we were talking before we went on the air. I just had dinner last week with another classmate because I have so much appreciation for that time that I like to, stay in touch with that group. Andrew Fremder, I brought my wife to Dutch Lane last night under the covers. I only wish my hot...
So nice.
Yeah. I only wish my hot French teacher played with my wee-wee.
Wee-wee.
Oh, my mother's watching. She says, hi, Lisa. Say hi to your mom for me.
Oh, wait, whose mother's watching?
My mother.
Oh, your mother?
My mother.
Oh, my God, hi! Oh, wow! My mother would have been like, what do you want?
No, she wouldn't.
I would have.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I got a ham for Easter. Don't worry about it. I got the lasagna. It's all good, Mom. But your mom, hi. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no, my mother's the same. She's asked me like 18 times what time we're eating and stuff like that. Like, all right, just come over. Come over whenever you want. Come over now and stay. I don't care.
Right.
We'll eat when we eat. Just calm down, lady. Vicky says Tony is Mr. Hicksville.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Bosie says, the teacher saying have no clue is the new please go away. Yeah, probably.
Please go away.
Fremder, I used to date an older, that was a librarian, older CH, that was a librarian. What does that mean? Chick? An older chick that was a librarian? CH, yeah. She lived right off the Sag by Old Nipples.
Old Nickels?
Old Nipples. Yeah, that's what I get for reading his comments. Ken Pichelle, going back in time when the mainstream thought Rat and Crew and Metallica were this totally unacceptable underground music, not baseball player entry songs and insurance commercial songs.
Yes.
You're absolutely right about that, Ken Pichelle. That is spot on.
I painted Motley Crue on my nails.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I was hanging out with Charlie Zeno.
Oh,
He
that
lived
explains
over
it.
between us.
Oh, really?
He lived on Plainview Road.
Oh, I don't remember.
like right between your house and my house.
Charlie was nuts. He made me laugh, but he was nuts.
Oh, yeah, he was crazy.
Someone should go outside and poke him with a stick to see if they're still living. What? Who? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
I know. Hold on, guys. Like adjust a little.
What happened?
No, I had to adjust a little. I know you don't have those issues.
I do. I like to adjust.
Sticking to your lip gloss.
True.
There is an adjustment there, and then you have the leg adjustment all the time too.
Carol Miner is watching.
Oh.
Hello, Carol. She says she thinks kids are losing the basic concept of having conversations.
I agree with Carol.
All right. Carol watches. She watches almost every day, Carol. She's the best. And Carol, are you still coming up? Carol's supposed to be coming up to New York at some point.
Oh, wow.
What was that, next month?
Where is she, Florida?
She's in Texas.
Texas?
She was in Florida.
Right.
She's been in Texas for a few years.
Texas is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been there, so you can't judge.
Well, I'm not judging. But I want her to come back.
Right.
So I am judging.
Yeah.
Come back. Let's see. I don't know what Bosie's talking about. Good God. Dear God, that was a bad fender. Oh, Fremder? Are you talking about Fremder? Oh, yeah. Now they're starting to. Oh, they're fighting with each other.
Who's fighting?
Fremder and Bosie. They're fighting with each other. All right, Vicky says.
This is just like high school.
Oh, absolutely. Vicky stepping in, telling them to calm down. Carol Miner says Fiddler was a big family, right, Lisa?
Fiddler was the best.
You guys did Fiddler on the Roof, and that was junior high, right?
Junior high, yeah. Fiddler really was like kind of groundbreaking in terms of junior high.
Groundbreaking. There was nudity.
No, but like it was. She has a great voice.
Carol does.
Beautiful voice. I'll never forget Carol sang "Journey" for the 9th grade talent show. She did it beautifully.
Really?
Yeah.
Carol, next time you're in, because Carol's been in here. Time you're in here.
Open arms.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
I'll put you on the spot.
I'm
Start
sorry,
rehearsing.
Carol, but you did. She had a beautiful voice.
Start rehearsing. You're going to sing Open Arms next time you're in this room.
Really good, and she was great in Fiddler. But it was just one of those like it was a very difficult play to do.
Sure.
For junior high, and we had a lot of people came out. A lot. We were at packed houses.
Nice.
Like we couldn't believe it. It was a silly junior high thing, and it.
Why wasn't Carol with us in high school drama? Why didn't you do plays with us in high school, Carol?
I think she did.
She wasn't. Not when I was there. Like we did. The musical was Anything Goes. We did Brighton Beach Memoirs. Like she wasn't involved in any of those.
But she may have done some. There were some others that.
Yeah.
We weren't in.
I wasn't good enough. She says. Yeah.
Oh my
stop
God!
It.
She had the best voice of everybody.
Freaking Carol. All right. So one thing that you mentioned just before we went on the air, which I'm going to get you in trouble for, you said you hated Pulp Fiction.
I hated that movie.
Why do you? Who?
I don't know. I'm not a huge. Okay, so the only Quentin Tarantino movie I really like was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, the George Clooney one.
Yes, and it's not because George Clooney's in it.
Yes, it is.
Partially, but not all the way. No, not all the way.
Really, you didn't like?
No, my
Django
husband loves Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, you guys can watch it together because I don't get it. I just don't. I'm not. And he loves the one with Uma Thurman.
Oh, Kill Bill.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
He's huge into Quentin Tarantino, and I'm.
Really? What? You don't like the violence, the cursing? What is it?
I just didn't like.
You just didn't like it? Oh, you thought it was stupid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm all about violence and cursing. I grew up. I'm Italian. I mean, there's really no. That's what we're about.
You know, that was one of the stories that I've been sitting on for a couple of days here. There was a story about
hatching,
a woman.
like a.
No, well, and I swear to you, I don't know.
Incubating stories.
I was thinking to myself, oh, Lisa would like this, and I don't even know why I thought that. A Southern California dermatologist has been charged with poisoning her husband by pouring liquid drain cleaner into his tea. This is like The Sixth Sense. Remember they caught the woman on video?
Right.
The same thing.
Right.
This guy had a feeling that...
How do you not taste that?
Well, that was the thing. He started tasting something funky in his tea, got a little suspicious. Him and his wife were having some difficulty. So he's like, screw it. He set up a nanny cam in the kitchen. Sure enough, there's video of this woman taking the liquid Drano and pouring it into his tea. And then like 10 seconds later...
Wouldn't he be marking the Drano like a vodka bottle, you know?
Yeah, true. Then he walks in. He walks in like 10 seconds later. You see him in the video.
I would taste that immediately. I would do antifreeze in the Gatorade.
Why? You can't taste it?
Antifreeze is that same color as like.
But you can still taste it, no?
I don't know, but I would think it would mask it better than tea.
There's a lot of thinking going on here.
Well, I watch Forensic Files. I'm not trying to.
Rich.
Yeah.
Mark the cap.
Rich is a mechanic. He's probably got more antifreeze. He's probably immune. You know, he's built up an immunity, so he's safe. Nobody worry about Rich.
So you've been trying to kill him for a year, is what you're saying. It's just,
Damn it.
Get out of the.
It didn't work.
Got to get out of the car stuff. What else is there? I got to
find
real
I could do
poison.
the Drano in the tea. I mean, coffee. At least coffee is like a stronger beverage.
Right.
Why would you pick a weak British? You know, when I think of like killers, you know, like you think, like, all right, you know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever been killed by British tea.
Yeah, like a little spot of Drano. Love.
But
with a crumpet.
But you're kind of justifying what I'm. Like I said, I read this story. I'm like, oh, I'm going to save this for Friday when Lisa's here.
Yeah.
Like I knew for some reason that this would like be a good story with you.
Well, that's great. Now everybody thinks I'm a
right. So now, yeah, but
homicidal.
It must have been out there somewhere.
Black Widow. Or my ex-husband's alive.
He is alive. Yeah.
Yep.
But there was a time we were like, we weren't sure, right? When he like disappeared to Florida or some shit.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know, but he's there. He's fine.
Freaking weirdo. And I like that guy too, man. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I need to smack him.
If you can find him.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Carol says she auditioned for the play. She just never got a call back. Lisa was much more versatile, and Sue Andres too. Oh my goodness. Well, you still could have like been in chorus or something.
But she had a great voice for Anything Goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean.
Vicky says she likes Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, she just liked it for the different types of pussy that was ordered at the front door. What? Is he talking about
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Oh, is that what he's talking about? And then he says he's lying. That was me. That like okay.
I was gonna say I think that was you. I don't
Fremder, how about the porn parody Pump Friction?
Yes, right up there with Forrest Hump.
And Saving Ryan's Privates.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you said pouring Drano into his teeth. No, his T. T-E-A.
It's that Long Island accent.
Yeah.
I ruin everything.
I would have just have him listen to Jeff Bosey's comedy. Whoa.
Oh, that was low.
Whoa, the gloves are off. Oh, Carol says she's flying up in May.
Yay.
Nice. Carol, and forgive me guys for talking about this so much, but it's worth it. Carol has been nice enough. Down there in Texas, there's this place called Buc-ee's. You familiar?
I've heard of Buc-ee's.
You have heard of Buc-ee's. Yes. They have the best chocolate.
Really?
She has sent me their milk chocolate. She sent me this thing with like milk chocolate and caramel, but they have these peanut butter things.
Yes, Buckeyes or something, or right?
Yeah,
something. Yep.
The Reese's peanut butter cups, to me, I used to love them as a kid.
Oh my God, they're so sweet.
But now,
and like weird and tiny and
well, yeah.
thin.
But then you take a bite and you look at it. It doesn't even look like peanut butter. It looks like yellow chalk.
Yeah, like baby poop.
So that's what you guys are eating, baby poop, unless you're getting Buc-ee's.
Well, when you're like me trying to lose weight, that's what you envision things as.
Well, that's true. That helps.
Somebody licked it so that you don't eat it, and baby poop.
So this is perfect. So I don't have to save you a Buc-ee's candy that Carol brings me.
You get them all for yourself.
It's giant, and it's got real peanut butter inside of it. Oh, my God. It's like...
Well, they say everything down in Texas is, like, better and, bigger and...
Oh, yeah?
The food and everything like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even their men? Bigger and better?
I wouldn't know about that. We'll ask Carol when she comes.
Her husband, have you never met her husband?
No.
Super, super nice. Like you. You know, you have a really nice guy of a husband. Carol, too, has a super, super nice man.
The second time around, everyone.
Yeah. We've all done better the second time around. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got a hell of a nice guy. And
we were all just too young. Like, it was just...
The first time is like practice, trying to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take off the training wheels and...
Yep, that's it exactly. And your husband, does he still work out?
Which Rich now?
Yeah.
He does, not as much. He's got to get back into it.
Because
kind of.
Really?
He was pretty diesel for a while.
Yeah, he was posting pictures like...
Yeah.
Popeye
Yeah.
looking after eating the spinach,
Yeah.
6-pack and pecs and.
Yeah, not so much, but he's gonna be 49. He's a little younger than us.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah,
Wow.
sort of a cougar, but not. Not quite. Just a couple of years.
Ken Pichelle, Bucky's is opening in Auburn soon. I can't wait to try the candy. How is that close to you? I'm assuming it is, Ken. Ken's in South Carolina.
Okay,
right?
but
South
there's
Carolina?
something.
No,
else.
Alabama.
Carroll,
Alabama.
No, there's known for something else. It's like a something else they make there that people buy.
Yeah, they're like a glorified 7-Eleven.
Yes.
They have you can sit down and have a good meal. They
Right.
sell clothes, and the reason I talk about it pretty often, other than the candy, is that they treat their employees well. They have they get paid well, benefits, the whole
Wow.
works.
Not
yeah,
like here.
no, not like here at all. Yes, Carol agrees. The second one is a major upgrade. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't remember how we got into that.
I know you were on the story.
Right, and then we just went to second time's a charm.
Your incubation stories that you're sitting on and hatching.
Yes. Well, I do that. I find stuff to talk about, and then sometimes, depending on who's in here with me, we just go on tangents.
Wanted to talk to you about back in the 80s. I'm sorry, people. Yes.
It's all right.
It was a good time.
We do. Lisa and I like to reminisce.
We do. But this isn't even reminiscing. I was talking to you about, I think I randomly texted you, you ever notice how many stalker songs there were in the 80s?
Yes.
Because I happened to be on a kick of listening. My husband's huge with music. He loves
Oh,
music.
nice.
Yep. He'll listen to any music. And so one night we'll have an 80s night.
Oh,
One
nice.
night it'll be the Cure night, which is sort of the 80s night. Some night it'll be, hair bands. And
Do you guys do the whole thing, like the mullets? and stuff?
No, well, I do anyway. No. And he's bald, so there's no mullet.
Well, he can buy one.
Yeah, but we'll do Sinatra Saturday. So
You recovered. That's all right.
covered well.
Yeah.
Sinatra Saturday, Freestyle Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, there's theme nights in our house.
Is there
So-
nudity involved in this?
So occasionally.
Nice.
Occasionally, yeah. It depends on how much wine I drink, and
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun times at the Melazzi house out in East Patchogue. Let me tell you, it's nice having neighbors that are very far away.
Ah.
So anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, so I texted you.
Yes.
That I was listening. I'm making dinner, and all these song every breath you take,
Every breath you take is. He wrote that when he was getting divorced, and so many
See?
people use it as their wedding song.
How could you use it? That is a
Yep.
stalker song.
Totally a stalker song.
And the one, she's just 16 years old, leave her alone. Have you guys ever seen that video? The magic carpet ride, and he's by the window, and
No, I don't
it's an
think so.
older. Watch the video.
Really?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, and it's I guess because how things have gone on in time. You take the Beatles. I saw her standing there. The very first line, she was just 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
The only way I justify that was Paul McCartney was 18 when he wrote it.
Right.
So I guess that's okay. But
Right.
But now, if I'm watching a band somewhere, and they start playing that song, you're in the audience. Sometimes you mouth the
Yeah.
words or something. I'm sometimes I feel a little weird mouthing the words to
I
that
know.
song, and I actually pull back. I'm all right, I'll just stand here.
Yeah, it's I feel awkward
strange.
now
Yeah.
that I'm older. I know. A lot of the songs, I wrote them down.
Did you?
Yeah, I wrote a bunch of them down because I was trying to. I was trying to give you material.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Under the heading 80 stalker songs.
It is. It is 80s stalker.
There it
songs.
is. That's funny.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that song.
I mean,
Yeah, Michael Jackson had something to do. Isn't that him singing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were there always people though that felt like this?
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
hear songs like that now. Now it's just I don't.
Yeah,
Then again.
true.
Everybody, You're My Obsession.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that song, too. You're my obsession.
Don't you? Yeah. Don't You Want Me? That song. He's you were working as a waitress at a cocktail bar when I met you, and he's there'll be trouble if you don't.
Does he really? He says,
He go. Yeah. It's just.
wow. See, I always took that as just sexually. Don't you want me?
But then he says something
Yeah, I don't pay attention that closely.
yeah, you don't. So now I
Who was
should
that?
send this to
Human
you.
League? Was that the name of that band?
Human League, yeah.
Human League. Wow.
I don't know. I'm not gonna. Oh, creepy pedophile songs. I have those too.
Really?
Don't Stand So Close to Me. Because that's like weird teacher.
Well, that's what that song's about. Yeah.
No one would ever write that now.
No, you're absolutely right.
You could not get away with that now.
Yep. They just write white ass pussy now.
Yes. Like, father figure with like, come on, people would be like, that's creepy and all right. And,
it just makes me laugh though with him that some people didn't know for years that he was gay. Like, are you kidding me?
No, I was one of them. I think I.
You didn't know he? Oh, no. I think you did tell me that actually.
Yeah, and you and my husband had a great laugh about that.
That's right. Now I remember that.
I was naive. He had better hair than me. There were so many signs.
He was like more feminine than most girls.
I know, but he was. I don't know. I was naive.
Christine 16.
Yes.
Yeah. Winger has a song called 17.
It's just you can't get away with that now.
Yeah.
Imagine. You just wrote about whatever the hell you wanted back then.
Yeah. Carol Miner, always something there to remind me.
Yes.
That's a stalker song?
Yeah, because it's like you can't get her out of your head. You know, there's always something there to.
Yeah,
I love that song. But
me too.
I get where she's coming from because.
Fremder. You know what? Screw it. I'll allow it, and I'll let everybody else pick on you for the comment.
Me?
No, Fremder. He said.
You can pick on me. I'm okay with it.
No. He's not picking on you. But this comment, this program I use, it allows me, if they see that something could be questionable, they'll give me the option of allowing it to be in the comment thread or getting rid of it.
Oh, wow. Very fancy.
But
I can't even see that far away.
Yeah. Well, it's up there, too. I don't know if you can see that.
No, I can't.
He wrote, how about the song by Donald and the Trumps called You Just Gotta Grab Her by the Pussy? So I figure I'll just let it come up there and let everybody else yell at him.
Yeah, but it's kind of, relevant with what he's going through. So.
Yeah, true. True.
Stormy Daniels. When my name was Lisa Storms, I can't tell you how many people would like.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I was like, no,
God.
because there was a Lisa Storms who was an adult. She had a website and everything.
Really?
I mean, she was a tall, buxom blonde, and I'm like 4'11", dark hair. So I was like, clearly it's not me, people.
Wow.
But yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if somebody wants to check if she's still, out there, but she was. And then I heard, oh, you should be like a porno weather girl. I'm like, yeah, because, when I open up the job ads, that's right at the top. Porno weather girl. Oh, look, they got a bunch of Lisa Storms coming up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I'm not seeing any porn. I think you're making this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, well, Storm, go. It was that one, Lisa Storm, maybe, without the S.
All right.
Leave off the last S for savings. Or slut, I don't know, however you want to go with that.
No, she doesn't look porn-ish.
I don't know. Well,
yeah, that looks like a real person.
That could have been back in the day, years ago, and stuff gets taken down. So,
true. Wow.
But there was, and people were like, "Hey, no, that's not me."
Stormy Daniels voted according to the poll. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty good actually.
yeah, he's all right. Yeah, so that's weird. I didn't even. So did that ruin 80s night in the Melazzi household for you to have all these weird stalker pedophile songs?
No, he was like giving me them. Like he was like, "Oh, here's another one." It was like actually we were trying to like find ones that were.
And then meanwhile, Michael Jackson probably didn't have any, right?
Right, and he was the pedophile supposedly of our. But no disrespect, because I love Michael Jackson. So.
Yeah, I do too. I do.
But he had Pretty Young Thing. Everything was PYT, Pretty Young Thing.
Oh, I forgot about that song.
Everything with him was, I don't know. Everything back then was about young and youth. Even I don't know. Carol can remind me of this. I had a bit of a dispute going with Dave Dobrin and Sean Tower that I could have sworn our prom song was Forever Young. The one like that's in Napoleon Dynamite.
Right.
Prior to it being in Napoleon Dynamite, obviously. But they saying no.
It
was something else. And I can't even remember the something else it was because I am so convinced that it was Forever Young. I was so drunk at the prom. I couldn't tell you.
Were you really?
Yeah, I don't even remember going.
Really?
I was very drunk. I know.
And who'd you go with?
Garrett.
Oh, Garrett. Right.
And I went to the junior prom with Rob.
Right. Porn weather girl. It's going to be cloudy with a chance of squirt.
Exactly. I've heard all of this before.
Yeah. So Carol's asking which prom, junior or senior? Senior prom. Senior prom?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't even remember that kind of stuff. I just remember having a lot of fun with friends, but details like that,
Right, like the details are
you
elusive.
You got me thinking now. Like I don't even remember my prom song.
Did you go to the prom?
I did.
Well, because you were a year ahead, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go to mine, like because you were popular and full of hotness. I'm surprised somebody didn't ask you to go.
No. Thank you, though. That was very kind. But no, I don't. Well, I was probably going out with somebody, so.
Yeah, I was loosely involved with somebody during my senior year.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, well, she went to your elementary school, and
I do remember that now.
Yes, and then it was decided that we were not going to be together, but she was still willing to go to the prom with me, and I said no. I said, I'm not doing that. So I ended up taking a friend who was involved, who already, like you said, was dating somebody else.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. Then I started seeing somebody else just within weeks of the prom, but
you were already committed to the other.
I actually went to that girl.
I remember this mess.
Yeah.
I kind of remember this.
And I actually went to the girl. I said, can I take this? I'm just...
Oh, my God.
And she said, yes. And then her friends were like, that's a dick move. I'm like, all right. So I went back. But meanwhile, she had already... But meanwhile, the girl I was starting to see, she already agreed to go to the prom with somebody else. And so she came to me, too. She's like, I can't do that. That's awful. Let's just... I'm like, all right. So, yeah, I didn't really have a great time.
This is where texting would have come in good. You know, it would have been a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Been like just texted like, hey, no.
Right.
Can't do the prom. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Emoji.
Oh, yeah, everything was fake.
But now everything, that's what I'm saying. Everything was face to face. We were like...
And it was nerve-wracking back then,
yes.
too, man. Like to
or
go face to face. Right. And that, too.
It's a 0.
Right. But then the worst part, though, as you're doing
Shaking.
that, the anticipation of like, oh, that girl's father's going to answer the phone.
Exactly.
He's going to ask me what I want.
Yep.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Just, there was a lot of anxiety with the phone and the calling.
See, so that's what I'm saying. So the kids today are getting it right.
I guess, but they have anxiety with their phones, you know, because it does more than just call. Like you couldn't send a picture.
Yeah, well, true, right? You couldn't send a dick pic.
No.
What song do you think your senior prom was?
I think it was Forever Young.
Oh, that's right. You said that. What song did they say it was?
I forgot.
Oh, all right. Because Carol is saying it was "Walk Forever by My Side" by The Alarm.
I think that's what they said. All right.
All right.
Clearly.
So you got the forever part.
Yeah. that was all the vodka and.
I don't even know
drinking.
that. I don't remember that song.
I wasn't drinking vodka. I was probably drinking like a Seagram's. Am I kidding? Vomiting.
You're drinking the who are those two guys? And we thank you for your Bartles and James.
Probably about as good as it got back then.
And we thank you for your support. Yeah. I don't even know that
more
song.
in the budget too.
The Alarm, 68 Guns, says Ken Pichelle. Yeah, that was a good tune. And Sold Me by the River. What a great song that was. Yeah. By The Alarm.
Good music too back
then. It was
then.
good music back then.
Come on.
See, that's when I start to struggle. Are we just sounding old, or because there's music from the 70s and 80s that you still hear normally today.
Like everywhere.
But there are songs.
Commercials, they ripping off our songs.
Yes, true. But like from like the year 2000 on, it just seems like a song comes out, it's a hit, and then you don't hear it ever again. It doesn't stand the test of time.
Stupid Katy Perry plastic bag song that's always in my head.
Yeah, well,
do you ever feel like a whatever?
Yes.
No, Katie, no. I'm sorry, I get angry.
But that's what I'm saying. Are we getting old, or so are the kids who are 20 years old now?
Right.
Will they be going in the future saying, like, looking at Katy Perry songs like we look at songs from the 70s? I don't know.
I don't see how. Like
I don't see how either. But
selling out of shows? Are you kidding?
Right.
Go to Def Leppard.
Def Leppard was one of the worst concerts I ever saw.
Really? It was one of the best I saw.
No. They were awful.
Two different experiences.
Well, I went.
Maybe I was stoned.
That could be. See, most people go to the concerts to get stoned and have a good time. I'm actually like, I want to listen to the music.
Yeah, I want to count the beats.
Oh, he forgot the words on that verse. They played none of their early stuff. They did.
Oh, well, I went years and years ago. So
yeah, no, me too. This was like 92 or some shit.
You would think you would appreciate a one-armed drummer.
Well, now, yes. That. In 2002, I went to the Nassau Coliseum to see McCartney, right? And I had these good seats right in front of. They have like this row that you know go circles the whole place, and I'm sitting in the first row, of risers. So Paul was married to that one-legged woman at the time.
Oh right! Oh my God!
And she's a good-looking woman. I don't know if she still is, but at least back then she still was.
Tall. She was a model.
Yes, she was a model.
Beautiful woman.
Her name's escaping me, but
Jerry? No.
No, that's Mick Jagger's.
That's Mick Jagger.
Jerry Hall.
I'm all over the place.
So she walks by, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Look!" Heather Mills.
Yes.
She walked by, and I nudged my buddy. And go,
Those English ladies have those types of mills.
Yes.
That
Yes, you're absolutely
good
right.
Teeth, but go ahead.
Do they?
Well, the models do.
Yeah. So
all the teeth goes to the models in England.
Well,
so
and that's the last thing I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And actually, that's what it was, because she's now walking away from us, and I'm looking at her butt, and and my buddy like, oh yeah. She gets maybe anywhere from 30 to 50 feet away, and she trips and falls.
Oh.
She has one leg, and I laughed. I mean, I wasn't like making a spectacle, but I was like, because she got right back up. I'm one of those. And
was this before you had?
Well, that's the thing. This was April of 2002. I was diagnosed with cancer in October 2002. Amputation, August of 2005. So to me, that was karma on the highest level right there. I laughed at this one-legged woman fall. Let me just point out though, she fell. She got right back up because I do that. I've seen. What was his name? There was a kid I graduated with. I saw him running across Route 107 once, and he ran into a moving bus. I laughed my ass off.
That's kind of funny.
Laughed my ass off.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got pretty banged up. Yeah. Tom?
Tom Caruco Cullum?
No, I got that name wrong. Landry, I think was his last name.
Oh, okay.
Haven't heard a peep about him since high school. No idea what became of him.
Wow.
Maybe he ran into an airplane.
I'm sorry, but that is not her tripping. That's horrible.
Well, that's the thing. That's where I was going with this. When people are okay, as long as I know they're okay,
right.
I laugh my ass off.
Okay.
Laugh my ass off. Because she did. She got right back up, and she just kept on walking. So I'm like, all right, she's okay.
Where was her husband?
On stage.
He didn't help her?
I didn't have good seats. We were like, I don't know why she was even back there. But she was just walking. She just happened to walk past.
Yeah, we were. She was like by the stage or something.
Oh, no. She walked right past us. Oh. And that's what I'm saying. So we were watching her.
You didn't help her.
Well, at this point, she was like 30, 50 feet away. I
would have beat you with my leg.
But if I got out, well, I've done that. By the time that's how quickly she got up. I mean, by the time I got out of my chair and got to the end of my row, she was up and walking already. Like she was totally fine. Oh, very, very. Wow. Yeah, I mean, she's one of those people you don't even know unless she's wearing a skirt or you just know her story. And again, so she was okay, so that's why I started to laugh. But that was one of the first things I thought of when it was finalized that we're doing amputation. I'm like, son of a bitch, just 6 months earlier I was laughing at the one-legged McCartney wife.
Yep.
And it's okay to laugh at her. She's got $1 billion.
Oh, she's fine. She's got
absolutely.
Nice teeth.
Exactly. Nice teeth.
Didn't lose any when she fell.
English and rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't write a song about 68 guns now either. You know what 68 means?
68. No.
You do me and I owe you one.
Oh, okay.
Why is
That's cute.
What's a 77?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, why? Yeah, wait. 77 is you get 8 more.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
How about the song "You Have to Get Up for School" by The Alarm? Oh my goodness! Speaking of today's
by The Alarm.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. Everything makes me laugh.
Speaking of today's commercials, "Your Love" by The Outfield is a skeezy topic. Why? That's a great song.
Yeah. What?
I actually saw those guys in concert.
You did?
It was The Outfield and Mike and the Mechanics.
Oh, Mike and the Mechanics. They were good.
They were good.
Still on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, who? All I Need Is a Miracle?
Yeah.
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 All right. So you pulled that right out.
I was impressed.
Thank you.
And somehow, I remember after The Outfield, because we were like, it was Jones Beach, and we were like last row. Somehow.
Yeah, but Jones Beach last row is
back then it was small.
It was
so it wasn't bad, but somehow
now it's like I can't.
It's an arena now. Yeah, it's a different state.
Orthopedic shoes.
Yes, I can't do it.
Yeah. hanging on a Boeing 707.
Yes,
You know.
right. It's a different time zone. I forget though. Somehow
The air is thinner.
Yeah, absolutely. Somehow we ended up with front row from like somebody, a radio station or somebody gave us front row tickets by the time Mike and the Mechanics came out. We ended up in the front row. And
Or
then
maybe you just walked into the front row like I do at a Mets game.
could be. Yeah, but I don't, like
do
Dice
that.
pointed, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, but I just walk right down. I'm like, my Mets hat on.
Yep. Yeah, see, but that's hot. That's hot.
I walk down. I just wait for somebody to yell at me and say, "Not your seat."
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was.
Oh, I'm
Must be right over
number
there.
dyslexic. Number dyslexic.
British women are great. There's nothing better than waking up to a glass of orange juice and an English muff. You're encouraging him.
I think it's funny. That's hilarious.
No, that one was
that
pretty
was good.
All I need is a miracle because my car broke down on my way to see Mike and the Mechanics.
Yeah.
Josie's on a vacation for.
That's a great song.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and help me cheat on her. Those are the lyrics.
Come around and talk it over. Right?
Oh, but his point is he's talking to somebody else. He's saying Josie's away, so come on.
I didn't go that deep into it. I only went into the stalker ones deeply.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even realize that.
See, we have to really dissect the 80s songs.
We do.
Really go through them.
Wow.
It was a lot of angst and built up, like, stalker stuff. Like, we used to drive past people's houses, remember? Like, let's go past the house.
Oh, yeah.
And do what?
Right, you just drive past. And then, right. Yep.
Car's there, now what?
Yep.
Bastard. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
What are we proving here? I don't know what we're doing. Are we waiting for the dad to come out and take the trash out? Or somebody's going to walk the dog? Like, what are we doing?
I once...
But we did it all the time.
Did you ever get caught doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I had one girl's big brother came up to me one time. We were at a party. He said, "Look, I know you're, going by the house. Can you stop?" I was like, "Oh, I was so." That's probably what got me.
You do the Shaggy, wasn't me.
Yeah, I should have. See,
We're
but
so
again, I'm not that
stupid. We were
smart.
like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It didn't even occur to me to say, no, that wasn't me.
My brother, poor Billy Ryder, back in the day when he and I were, Carol will remember, we were dating during Fiddler on the Roof. And in our yearbook, our 1986 Meteor, because we were the Meteors,
right?
Yearbook, Billy was most friendly male and I was most friendly female. Okay, so that's what we won that. And everybody said, "Oh, it's because they're going out." Like all of that little... Yeah, it was, all right? Let me smack you with my Swatch watch now.
Yeah.
Scratch and sniff Swatch watch. But anyway, I digress. My brother, Billy, came to the house. I wish I still had this effing album. Bought me, when it first came out for my birthday, Madonna, Like a Virgin.
Oh.
Album. With the posters and shit in it and everything. My mother keeps Men at Work, but gets rid of Purple Rain with the original posters and gets rid of Like a Virgin. But I've got Men at Work and I've got the one Feed the World. I got that. I got that. That she kept. So anyway, he comes to my house with this to give it to me. And all I remember, like, my brother, I guess I wasn't home or whatever it was. And he's knocking on the door and he's like, poor kid worked at a deli. He was like 12 at the, when he started working. Yeah. He was about 14. He shows up at my door and my brother had a shotgun. My brother, he's 5 years older. He had like a rifle. Don't even ask me where this guy.
He pulled a rifle on Billy?
He just cocked it like behind him. And I remember that for
Holy shit.
And he told me this. He's like, I think your brother has a gun. I'm like, what?
Well, Billy's father was a cop, so I'm
so
sure he's been around guns. He knew the noise. Holy shit.
He does? I'm like, who allowed him? What Wild West am I living in that my parents...
But we are talking about Billy Ryder. I mean, I would be nervous to let him be alone with my daughter, too.
Yeah, he's like, what do you want with my sister? He's like, is Lisa here? What do you want? Click, click.
A few years ago, because Billy, he does a lot of traveling for his job and whatnot. He was in town. And I forget what hotel it was, but he's like, "Would you come meet me?" Whatever game was playing.
Yeah.
So me and Sean Tower, a few guys, we met up with him. But I think I was the first one there, if I remember right. And I meet Bill in the lobby, and he goes, "All right." He goes, "Before we go," he goes, "I got to go to the main desk there." He was waiting for something to be delivered, I think like some kind of product that he was
for
going to
work,
demonstrate,
whatever. Yeah,
something work related, right? So I walk over to the desk with him, and Billy's like, I'm waiting on a package. It's kind of important. Just wondering if it came in yet. And the guy's like, all right, let me take a look. I just lean in and I go, it's a bunch of vibrators.
Oh my God.
Billy looked at me because, this was work related. He looked at me like he was going to kill me.
Really?
And I felt so bad. This is a guy that I've known because like I said, I was in the A section.
Right.
He lived right down the block. I
Yep.
was on April. He was on Abbott.
I remember going over his house.
Yeah. And April was right off Abbott. I used to play with him as a little kid. So this is a lifelong friend who I don't see terribly often now.
I would have laughed my ass
Also a close friend of Brian's that we talked about in the beginning of the show.
I would have been like, yeah, it is.
So and I felt so bad because you would,
I
and I
totally
actually
would.
thought he would too. But
Yeah.
he shot me this look. I was like, all right, sorry, Billy, and I didn't. I just walked away.
See, we haven't grown up. That's the difference.
Oh, totally have not grown up. No.
I'm still in denial that I have a house and a kid and why? Like, what happened?
Yep.
Right?
Not only a house, but kids in their 20s.
Right.
How in the world did that happen? That
Right.
time flies ridiculously fast.
I know.
It's crazy.
That's why I keep going backwards.
Where is Maddie now?
Hofstra,
Oh, okay.
grad school.
Nice.
Living with my parents, though, in Hicksville. So.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Because you're a good, from Hofstra, at least an hour.
Well, I was paying at first for her to live there in her undergrad, and then we were like, "Whoa, wait a minute, this is stupid."
Yeah.
I got parents living in Hicksville. You could just be.
And she's all right with that? Like,
yeah.
is she bringing people home and hearing guns getting cocked?
No, and you know what's really weird is that my brother is actually living there too right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So,
oh, that's funny.
So the other day, it's a long story, but anyway, it's a temporary thing. He's a court officer and he's retiring in May.
Oh, I thought he was retired already for some reason.
Not
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Almost. So anyway, so they sold the house, so he's living there for now, and my sister-in-law is traveling back and forth to Maine.
Oh.
That's where my niece is. The whole big thing. But anyway, it's so funny because everything comes full circle. My brother is back in the house. My daughter is living in it. It's like 4 people back in the house again.
That's crazy.
And she got dressed. I think she was wearing like a juicy sweatsuit. But, she's full figure, very cute figure, very tiny little waist and a badonkadonk. So she had juicy across her ass, and my brother looked at her and she was like, "Where are you going? Where are you going?" And she's like, "I'm going out." He goes, "You're going up in the living room, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm going out, Uncle Mike." And he's like, "Not dressed like that, you're not."
Wow.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Shades of wow.
And then Billy Ryder's son was picking her up.
Yeah, right. Imagine that would have just been. And my brother now legally carries a gun, so that would have been It's crazy. Yeah, so it's funny you should mention that because full circle.
That's
everybody
funny.
comes back to Hicksville. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Sooner or later.
Ken Pichel, do y'all? He's in Alabama or wherever he is. Do y'all ever watch Professor of Rock on YouTube? Some great '80s music history stuff. Yeah, I actually watch him.
I haven't. No.
Yeah, if you're a geek with music like me and Ken are, then it's
I'm a
interesting
geek,
stuff.
But I'm more like into Star Wars. Yeah, I have all 3 DVR'd.
Really? The original 3?
The original 3, right.
Oh, so
Like
are you still watching all the series and all the stuff now?
Some of them, yeah.
There's a lot of crazy stuff. I'm actually watching Andor right now. I'm about halfway through.
Really?
At first, I'm like, because when I started watching it first came out, and I said to my son, like, this is boring as fuck. So we stopped watching it. But then I started hearing from people, no, but it gets better and it's great. So I went to my son. I said, is that true? He goes, actually, it is really true. He goes, it really turned out to be a great show.
Oh, wow.
All right, fine.
I have to watch that. I haven't.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I'm about halfway through, and it's just now starting to get really good.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Carol, she says, Lisa, I still have pictures from the photo booth we took in summer of '85 from the mall.
Oh, my God.
Carol?
Send those
Send them over right now before the show's over. We got a little more than 15 minutes left. Send them over.
Back when it was called Mid-Island Plaza.
That's right.
Not
I don't even know what
Broadway
it's
Mall.
called now.
Broadway Mall.
It's not even, I don't think it's
Not?
Broadway Mall anymore. I think it's something else now.
It's probably some bazaar.
I just moved back into Hicksville.
I know.
After
Are you
20
shopping
something.
at the Apna Bazaar?
No.
That used to be the Wiz or whatever it was. Remember back? What the hell was that? There was like the car dealership. The Chevy dealer was McDaniel's. Ford. I'm not even talking right. McDaniel's Ford was over there.
Right.
And then it became like the Wiz or something. Or one of those. Somebody give me one of those defunct tech stores I think it was, and it was so many things.
Oh, I know where you are now. You Circuit City.
Circuit City, that's it. It was Circuit City, and of
Yes.
course it was Rock Bottom, which is no longer there.
Right,
And
right.
So that became just like a bazaar.
Yes.
Fully
Which is very bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah.
The bazaar is
And
bizarre.
The driving is just bizarre too. The people who drive
Yes.
into the bazaar. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're trying to be politically correct, but
I'm still getting. I mean,
used to it.
it's not like I ever moved that far. My mother's still in Hicksville, so it's not like I've been
I know,
out of
I
touch.
go back
but,
and forth,
right?
but it's just weird.
It is.
There's no trees on West John, and all
Right.
the trees are gone.
I've been staying kind of. I'm actually just a few minutes from here, so I'm like, staying like in that Levittown, Hicksville area, and if I have to
Village
go
Green?
into Hicks, yeah, and then I go like Woodbury Road,
Right.
area, which it really hasn't changed.
Really not much.
So I'm really just kind of
Reinhardt's
doing
isn't
that.
there anymore, though.
No, but there's a nice little deli actually called Lisa's Deli.
That my parents go there all the
Oh,
time.
yeah,
they
I
know
do
them
too.
by name. They know them by name.
Really? I'm surprised I haven't seen your parents there then.
Yeah, they're there all the time.
I was just there yesterday. They have good little food
My
there.
mother is in ShopRite probably 4 out of 7 days, if not more.
4 out of 7 days.
A week, yeah. She's
Really?
there all the time. And I don't know why, but she's there all the time. There is more food in that house, and that's going bad because they can't even rotate it between the downstairs and the upstairs. There's a whole process that goes on with them.
Really?
And yeah, but my point of this is they're at Lisa's Deli up a good 2 or 3 days. So I'm like, well, what?
It's a lot of food.
You have multiple things of cold cuts, but you have to go to the deli to have them make the sandwich. I don't understand. It just
And they're not big people, your parents.
not really. No, my dad's not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very strange dynamic going on over there.
And it's funny you say that because I think the last time I actually saw your mother was online at a supermarket, King Cullen.
It's constant. She's.
I think that was the last time I saw your mother. She was in front of me online.
Well, there's no more King Cullen. So
Right,
now,
that's gone now, too.
there.
It's a Big Lots.
You know, now she's at ShopRite. Oh, she goes to Big Lots though.
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember Nibbles? Speaking of King Cullen. No.
No. What?
Not a pet. No. It was a store. It was in the King Cullen Shopping Center.
Nibbles?
You know the King Cullen.
Yeah. Well, that's where I lived. My mother's right there. No. What was it?
You don't remember Nibbles?
No.
Carol will remember Nibbles. We used to walk to Nibbles. It was as you watch me walk. We would walk to Nibbles, and I love just saying it. Obviously, I should probably get a hamster and name it that. But there was like a little store.
But what was it? Like a restaurant? Like they
It was
sold?
like candy and like ice cream and stuff. And since we were allowed
Yes.
to walk, now you remember it?
And this is like when that whole shopping center first opened.
Yes.
Yes.
It
I
was
do remember
a
that.
great little store.
Yes.
It was an awesome store. Except I remember walking with some of the girls. I don't remember which set of friends. It had to be Diane and Jen Brennan and all of them and
Right.
Laura Lombardo. I think it was us. We were allowed to walk to,
Right.
to go get food. And where would we walk? Oh, the healthiest place you could find, Nibbles. And we were walking back, and it was the one time that we got flashed. It was like a flash. Now this would be broadcast.
Yes, it would be.
He was in the car, and he like flashed us and like touched himself. Now we were like
Holy
15 or 16,
shit.
so we were all like, ew!
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. And he was like old. He was probably like 30, but to us he was old.
And he was probably an 80s singer.
It could have been, yes, stalking.
Exactly.
They're just 16 years old. I'll never forget that, obviously.
Right
And
after that, the song "I Touch Myself" came out.
Yeah.
Dedicated to Lisa. And
But it was hot because it was a girl singing it.
well, yeah, that's true. And she had some body on her.
Yeah, you can't compare when you're dealing with some weirdo in a Corolla.
Yeah.
You know, in a trench coat. So we were just we were shocked. And I remember we walk back because that's safe. You know, that's
Right.
safe. You're going to walk more than a half mile back to
Oh,
high school.
where you were, yeah.
And I think my mom was working there, and we told her, and she probably told somebody, and it ended there.
Right.
There was no like
Now, the
social
cops,
media,
right.
cops, everything else.
Hicksville mamas. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nothing. It was just like, all right, you'll be all right. You'll be fine.
There used to be, when that shopping center first opened, there was like a bunch of warehouses next door
Yes.
with truck
Yep.
bays. And it was one of those things where the trucks would leave they would leave the cabs there. I'm sorry. The trucks would leave and leave the box part.
Yep.
It was one of those detachable things.
The freight part.
Yeah, thank you, the freight part. So, and it would be like that all the time. So I was hanging out, what kids do, at least back then, you just walk around and looking for something to do.
Are you kidding? Dumpster diving.
Right. So it was me and Chris Savini. Chris Savini, you guys, he's been in here. We grabbed a shopping cart from King Cullen. We were taking turns getting in it and pushing each other. So I'm in the shopping cart. Chris is pushing me. He pushes me underneath one of the freights.
Oh, my God.
On purpose. So
I'm sure.
The bottom of the freight is, I just cleared it, right? So because it's so close, I can't get out.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there, my arms and legs are just sticking out, but the bottom of the freight's right here. I'm trapped, and he took off. He took off, he left me there. Yeah. He came back. I don't know the time frame. I don't think it was terribly long, but he did, of course, come back and pulled me out. But, he left me.
Like, this is the shit we did. And it was, completely acceptable. Then you were friends with him. You were like,
I wasn't mad. We got out, and I was like, you son of a bitch, I'll get you back. And, of course, I couldn't. I never thought of anything to get him back with.
No, how do you get back from that? That's incredibly...
Yeah.
I don't think he planned it.
No, I don't think he planned it, but I think he didn't push me there by accident. And it was it was like one of those things, like once he saw it, he was like, boom.
This was like Jackass before Jackass became popular. We actually were doing
Jackass,
absolutely. Right?
Yes.
We were.
Jackass and Impractical Jokers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody lived that life.
Oh, my God.
And then,
do this.
We just weren't smart enough to make a TV show out of it.
No. Or have any connections because, again, we're from Hicksville.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, that same shopping center, it was 1985, and I was walking through that because that was a good, like you mentioned, going to school from where I lived. That was a good.
It was a good cut-through.
Good cut-through.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going because it was late at night, and I'm walking through, and a limousine.
Again, safe.
Yeah, well, but again, we did that stuff back then.
I know.
I'm by myself. I don't remember where I was going, but I'm walking through the parking lot, and this limousine comes into the parking lot. It was really strange. Like it looked like the same thing. Like it wasn't. Well, at the time,
that's sketchy.
Yeah, I thought it was sketchy, but then it just became weird once I saw what happened. It comes in, and it was just like circling around in the parking lot, and I'm like, "What is going on?" But I'm just walking, minding my own business. But sure enough, it comes over by me, and so I'm walking, and the thing just kind of came by me, and drove past me. But they had the windows down. It was Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley and a bunch of other people. But Christy Brinkley, I believe,
she didn't flash you, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, yeah, I would have. I think I did start running after the limo once I realized it was them. But she had the window seat.
That's so weird.
And Billy was right next to her, and I could see quickly that there were other people. I mean, they went by. It wasn't like they stopped, but it was quick enough that I can tell it was them, and there were some other people. And I did. I started running after it, but I mean, they were gone within seconds, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But
you were like, "No one's ever going to believe this."
Yeah, that's exactly. And I remember. I was going to somebody's house, and I did try to tell somebody, and they were like, "Yeah, sure."
They must have been like going to like some awards thing or whatever.
Something I don't. But why they be in Hicksville? Maybe they're on their way back from something, and they were showing them the old neighborhood or something. I have no idea.
Why anybody would show the neighborhood? Right. I mean,
and I'll tell you when we go off the air. But there was a girl we went to school with that owned his childhood home.
Oh.
And this is a few years back. She doesn't live here anymore. She sold the house. But a few years back, she had contacted me. She goes, I know you're you're loosely involved in the Billy Joel world. You know a lot of people. You know,
loosely.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? She goes, well, you know some of his bandmates. You know, like the guy that runs the biggest Billy Joel fan page on Facebook. I know the guy. In fact, Ken Pichelle, that's how we met.
Okay.
So she's like, so I know you're kind of loosely involved. She goes, can you go on that page or contact that guy and see if you can, like, get these people to stop coming to my house? She's like, all the time, she finds them on the front lawn, like, taking pictures and shit. She's like, can you help me? I was like, all right, I'll see what I can do. So I did. I contacted the guy. I posted something.
Lady, who do I look?
I don't care. Nice. What does it take to just post something? You know, I was like, I don't care. Yeah, can you guys do me a favor and just, leave her alone? And they didn't. It was almost like an invite to do it more. And then they would.
You're very imposing. I can't believe they didn't listen to you.
Ow.
Yeah.
And then they would contact me. Oh, look what we did today, and they would send me the picture. I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches.
You unleashed a total can of worms.
Carol says, Tony, check your phone.
Oh my God, you unleashed a can of worms with that. See, you tried to be helpful.
I tried.
The hell? Oh. Lady, take it as a compliment.
What do we got?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Wait, that's you back there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even recognize you.
Wait, who is that? Tom Petticini?
Yes.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Yep.
That was another good one. And Diane. And Christine Galati.
Christine Galati.
Jen Brennan.
Christine Galati's brother, Tom, does comedy here at Governor's.
What? Why were we with each other's... What were we doing, Carol?
Yeah, that wasn't your date, right?
No.
Well, you guys were swinging and swapping. You guys are dirty.
Yeah. Dirty whores.
So that's...
Is that Denise Beja? Because I still...
Yes.
Denise Beja first. I just saw her. She's beautiful.
Yes, she is. So that's Lisa
Sweet.
on the end, not in the
I see
blue.
her.
That's Lisa on whoops, this way. That's Lisa right there on the end.
That's a modified 80s hair. This had to be early
Yeah, this
80s.
is early 80s, before all the crazy hairspray. You notice Carol's not in this picture, though.
She's taking the picture, probably.
Oh, Carol, where's the picture of you in the photo booth?
Yes. Did I tell you that I got in trouble in high school? My locker, they when they went, I guess, to, I don't know, clean it out during the holiday or something, it was frozen shut from the stiff stuff hairspray.
Really?
Yeah, they told my mom. They're like, we couldn't get our locker open.
That's hilarious.
I don't know what I don't know. I was like, I'm so sorry.
That is hilarious.
Yep. Everybody was using like Aquanet. I was using the really hardcore stiff stuff, which was essentially crazy glue in a spray can.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, they're all making
Do you
jokes
imagine
about
stiff
nibbles.
stuff? Imagine marketing that today.
Yeah.
That could have been a moneymaker for us. Viagra, name it stiff stuff. I bet you I would get a lot more people buying it with that. Stiff stuff.
Stiff stuff.
Because we're not in the 80s anymore. You're not 18.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
I used to get my Viagra from Mr. Softy.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that. I actually had a customer once. A client came in and I said, what do you do? And he's like, I'm Mr. Softy. And I said, sir, I don't think you ever want to tell any woman that. I couldn't hold it in. I got in trouble.
Fantastic.
I did.
You got in trouble?
Yeah, my boss was like, you can't make jokes like that. I'm like, he walked right
Yes,
into
you
it.
can. Yes, you can.
I will take being fired. Because
Right.
that was just, come on, hand delivered. I'm Mr. Softy. I was like,
Shit.
come on, how do you not laugh?
Right. That's we're too PC. We're too sensitive.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
No, he giggled. He laughed.
Of course he did. Like
He set me up for it and he knew it.
and
I
I'm
was
sure
like,
you weren't the
relax.
last one to say that to him either.
Yeah.
And
He wanted a reaction out of me, and I
freaking love Mr. Softy.
Yeah.
There, I said it. And and I expect all sorts of jokes.
Well, I don't like ice cream. I don't.
Really?
Like you don't really like pizza.
Right. I don't.
I know.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm not an ice cream person, so there you go. So I don't like Mr. Softy. I'll put it out there. Thankfully, I'm married to a very virile Italian man.
She likes stiff stuff.
Yes.
You don't like pizza? Were you ever raped by a pizza? No. Raped by a pizza? No. What?
That's violent.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, because we used to get Dante's. Remember Dante's?
I do remember Dante's.
Across, right. I'm going like this because I lived here and there were railroad tracks. And Dante's was literally right here. Mm-hmm. It was like the best pizza.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, well, you wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't know. That's why I said, oh, really?
I know.
All right. It is just about time for us to go. I had a I'll make this quick. I had a conversation just this morning. I was talking to some friends of mine who are entertainers.
Oh.
And I'm not going to say names, but the girl, she's about to start working on a new project. And she's been she's just been nervous about it. And which, I'm sure a lot of you guys who are comedians or actors, singers, whatever, there's people get, Carol, I'll check the phone in a second. You get nervous. And I'm sure you remember from you haven't done any performing since high school, right?
No,
right. But I'm sure you remember from those days.
But I was in a couple of beauty pageants.
Oh, right.
And I was nervous as hell.
Right.
I flew there by myself, and that
wow.
was a performance.
Yeah,
Had a little
absolutely.
kid ask me for my autograph.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
even know what to do. I'm like, what is an autograph? Like, I froze because I'm like, oh, it's your signature.
Oh,
Because
wow.
when you're not asked for something like
Yes.
that in your whole life,
The first time I did stand-up.
divorce papers. That's about it.
Yeah, right.
I
The first time I did stand-up, afterwards, like you said, afterwards, you're like, what's an autograph?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Blank. I just drew blank. So
I
get
was
it.
so, like, it still hadn't sunk in yet because I was so
Right,
nervous
right.
that I shook the hand of the wife and I grabbed the guy and kissed his cheek.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But
afterwards,
that was
I'm like,
funny, though. So thankfully.
well, yeah. But, so she's been nervous.
Yeah. I get it.
Her husband has been not on her, but he's been like, you got to stop with the nervousness. You're in your own way. And he feels that it's
It's like hindering her, or
to a certain degree.
okay.
And this show, she has an opportunity to kind of, she's like hosting. So she gets to be herself, which she's never done. She's so used to being in, choreographed,
Right,
well-produced shows, characters, up there with other people. So we got into this long conversation about, because I'm saying to him, hey, look, I know, because he didn't really, it's not where he comes from. He comes from a very calm place when he
Right.
has a show, and he doesn't worry so much. And I said, well, I get it. I said, I get nervous. I
Yeah.
get crazy. And I even said, like this week with Knock 'em Dead Comedy, the Murder Mysteries, we have some shows coming up. And this week, due to some weird circumstances that I can't get into, but we had to cancel rehearsal. And I got mad.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, this sucks. We got a show coming up in a couple of weeks.
Right.
We haven't done this show in a long time, so we need the rehearsal time. And my friend said to me, he goes, the show's going to turn out okay. I said, yes. I said, but I will be the one that's going to be focused on this, the imperfections. And he's like, but you can't do that. You can't worry so much. We're not talking about, life-changing events here. We're he goes, when I do a show, I don't worry about it. I just do the best I can. And,
I wish I could live in that world.
and
Go
that's
ahead.
and
All
that's what I
right.
said to
Yeah,
him. I was
wish.
like, that's not really the norm.
No.
And we got into this long conversation about anxiety and getting nervous about stuff. He doesn't experience that.
Oh,
and
him.
I'm kind of thinking like, no, you're the minority here, pal.
Oh, 100%.
And I kept saying to him, I get where she's coming from, and she knows she's going to be fine.
Right.
But you still kind of have to go through this until you get to a certain level of comfortability. And he was like, no, she's driving herself crazy. She's driving me crazy. It's getting in the way. Like today she's mad, even though we still have, I think it's like another month or two before this show. She has all this time in the world to work on it. What is she getting so upset about? We were going back and forth. And I even said to her, I think I'm going to talk about this on the show today. Because I know you, we've talked about it before in other situations.
I deal with anxiety a lot. Yeah, a lot of anxiety.
Do you just accept it, or do you get drunk? Like all the above? What do you do?
Yeah, or they have CBD now, which is a
Right.
nice thing. I do, I have that little like CBD pen or whatever, and that helps. I do have Xanax. I don't take it because you can't function on it. Like,
Right.
You have it as like. It's almost like a safety blanket, just knowing it's there.
Right. Okay.
But I'll take it occasionally at night if it's like hindering my sleep, like a tiny, a quarter of a quarter of a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's it. And then you just kind of realize that it's part of your personality. I've always been functioning at this level.
Right.
I can be here. It's a win.
Well, that's what he said to me, which kind of stuck with me. He goes, you guys, meaning me. He was saying me and his wife. He goes, you're not enjoying the journey enough. He goes, you're getting to a certain place, and you both are acknowledging it's going to go well. He goes, so then what's the point of getting so upset if you know it's going to be okay? He goes, so you're not enjoying the journey enough. And I didn't have an answer to that. I'm like,
I don't.
Oh.
I don't have an answer either because it's physically impossible, mentally impossible to enjoy the journey when you're cluttered like that.
But you take the CBD because you're trying to fix it. So
right.
So you're saying it's
trying to clear the path. Yeah.
Right.
But that pathway for some people is just so many hurdles and obstacles that I feel when I was going to do the Knock 'em Dead show with you, I was going through a very difficult time. And so for me, I'd have to be perfectly clear, nothing going on in my life, and then I because I'm the same way. I need to commit 100%.
Right.
I'm not going to give you 50%.
Right.
It's not fair.
Right.
So that's probably what she's dealing with too.
And that's what I was saying to him, which is why I was saying, yes, I understand what she's going through. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But
and people like us can't understand people like him.
Right.
We want to be that. We do.
Well, we want to be that, but we also want to
to
smack him at the same time. All right, so Carol just sent that.
Oh, wow.
And then...
Look at those 80s fashion.
Oh, so then she sent that as well. That's Billy.
Wow.
Yeah. That Carol.
That was fantastic.
Oh, you haven't seen Carol?
No, she's in Texas.
Oh, I don't know.
She looks great. And I'm not on social media, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Only Instagram.
Right. So Carol does look fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, and her husband gets mad at me because when she sends me the chocolates, I always thank her for her delicious chocolate box.
Oh.
And
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I've driven that joke way not to the ground, but
you're
deep in the ground.
You're bringing it back to life. You gave it CPR. I get it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So her husband's I think he's ready to kill me, and he's bigger than me. So Vicky says sometimes it's that person's process of working through it to get there. I said that to him.
Yeah, that's what
I actually did say that.
We have a process.
Right. But
that's where OCD comes into play too.
Right.
People have rituals and processes to try to make that better.
But and that's what he was saying though. I mean, it is the process, but it's a stressful process. So his point was, why aren't you trying to not fix that, and why aren't you enjoying the ride?
Produce better and are under stress. I mean, how many of us have I used to not study, and then I'd study the night before and get an A.
Right.
Because I put the pressure on myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
some people just work better under pressure.
Under pressure.
Yeah.
How many athletes do?
Right. Yeah.
So that could be what she is too. She could that's how she works her best when she does put the pressure on.
Yeah.
And other people are just
But again, I hate those people.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. Oh, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And I'm like, no. The world is going to end. Something's going to happen. It's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine. Go through the process. It's a process. Just sage yourself.
Right. Sage yourself.
It's all going to be good. Get around with your chakras.
Very nice. All right.
Very good.
Time for us to go.
Yep.
Thank you. Lisa rocks. So glad you're... When were you last? That was a couple of years ago, right?
At least a year ago.
Oh, that's bad.
I know. It's my fault.
Well, you're working. It's at work.
I live out in the country.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So.
All right. So let me see. What?
I won't be a year again. Sorry, people. You'll have to see me again.
Oh, yeah.
This will not be a year again.
Absolutely right. Yeah. The more, the better. I'm just trying to think. All right. So what are you planning for Easter? Going to Mom's?
They're coming to me.
Oh, very nice. Mm-hmm. Happy Easter backwards.
Oh, Retsaya Yapa. Quick, right? I think I was right.
It sounded good to me. It sounded like it's like a human speaking backwards. That was wild.
It's like a language of its own. Yeah. It's like pig Latin, but better. Got to come up with a thing for that. Hyperlexia, they call it. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Hyperlexia?
Yeah, I asked somebody once. It's like, does anybody else do this?
Yeah. And this is something you've always done, or you developed this skill?
Fine-tuned it over the years.
That's a class I should have taken instead of French.
Yeah. Yes. It's much more useful and funny.
Fremder, I read backwards. Some would say I'm dyslexic, but I just say I'm a Jew? What?
Wedge. Jew. But I do it on purpose. That's the difference between dyslexia and hyperlexia. Like you're purposely...
Right. Well, that's what Ken Pichelle just said. That backward speed is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really fast.
I won Bee Gees tickets.
You won Bee Gees tickets?
By doing that, yeah, on PLJ.
What, they were looking for somebody to call in to talk backwards?
They wanted people to say something that somebody close to them could do, like a freakish thing. And I felt badly about throwing somebody under the bus on the radio. So I said, well, I can do something strange. So they were like, well, what can you do? And I told them. And they gave me the easy. They gave me song, ganas, music, kiss 'em. So they were like, oh, yo. So you hear them in the background. They're like, yo, we got to get that freak girl from Hicksville. She's got to get on the show. And I won. I was like, there were 3 of us, and I don't know what the other 2 people did. But
What, you actually had to go to the studio?
No, it was on the
you just did it
phone.
on the phone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
I
cool.
did it. And it won me tickets, front row, and and Hall and Oates too were there.
Ooh, Hall and Oates backwards. That's a tough one, I would think.
Sateo in La. I know, we could do a whole show, people. We could do a whole show. We really could.
Yeah,
one wants
and
to see that.
Siege Ebe. Yeah, Siege Ebe. The
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees backwards, yeah. Ken Bichelle just typed it.
Yeah.
Siege Ebe. Siege Ebe.
So many words are so funny, and it just sounds like some sort of, I'm telling you, Slavic language or...
Wow.
So.
Oh, Fremder's saying he's a Jew because Jews read the Bible backwards
Yes,
from right to left.
sorry. I thought you wanted me to say Jew backwards, which is wedge, which is funny.
Oh, then Carol acknowledged that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Wow, so you won Did you go to the show?
Of course I did.
The Bee Gees.
I was even sick. I think I had a temperature, and I'm like, I want these tickets. I was only in Jersey, one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny. In 1989, I won, from BAB, I won tickets to see The Who.
Who?
Right. Third base.
Where?
In Jersey.
Who?
Right. And what's his name? He was in your class. Yeah. What's this guy's name? I forget his name now.
What do you look like?
He
Mark Rubble?
hung out with Sean Tower. Will maybe?
Oh, Willie Sneddon?
Willie Sneddon. That's it. I would see him around from time to time back then. And he came up to me, he goes, oh, I heard you won those tickets. He goes, who you taking? I said, I haven't figured it out yet.
What a leech!
So, well, he goes, I'm gonna, he goes, can I come? So,
Oh my God.
but it actually worked out because what happened was I won the tickets, but it was for a day that I was getting some dental work. And they said, you'll be all right, you'll be cohescent, but we advise you not to drive. So I said this to
You
Willie.
mean coherent, because you're not glue.
What did I say?
Cohescent.
I said
Cohesive. Yeah.
I said cohesive.
Cohescent. You made up a word. So go ahead, anyway.
I'll be awake. But, so I said to
Drooling.
Yeah. So I said to Willie Sneddon, I go,
That's
look.
normal for you, though.
Exactly. Everybody's used to it. I said, we'll go. I said, but you have to drive because I'm getting this dental work. He said, okay, deal. So that was set, right?
Wow, the mutual using. I like it.
Right. But it gets worse.
Oh.
He then, for whatever reason, I handed him the tickets. I gave him the tickets before in advance.
Okay, I see where this is going.
A week before the show, he sold the tickets.
I was going to say, I bet you he sold them.
He did. He sold them, and he didn't even tell me. I had to find out from somebody else. I forget. Somebody else came and told me.
Horrible human.
I was so pissed. So, so I ended up buying tickets because the Who were doing like a bunch of shows there. So I bought tickets for a different day, and of course they were nosebleed seats and whatnot. After the show, walking through the parking lot, who do I see?
No.
I swear to you. And the tickets that he sold, the one tickets I won for a different day. So I was like there was this
weird.
ultimate shock that he was there.
Yeah.
And he comes right up to me, and you could tell he wanted to talk about it. I looked right at him. I actually pushed him out of the way. I said, we are
no
not talking
way.
about this.
Yeah.
And I just kept walking.
We're not friends.
And I think I've only seen him once since, actually.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I have no idea what became
desire,
of him.
it's okay.
I was pissed. Like,
I
you
don't
son of a bitch. Yeah.
The
Yep.
shit that went down back then, right? Now? Whoo!
Oh, now those tickets would be like 500, probably even more, probably a couple of grand.
Should have got a concert T-shirt.
At the least.
Thousands.
In 1989, Taylor Swift was born on my 21st birthday, says Ken Pichelle.
Oh, she can suck it. I'm sorry.
Wow, what did Taylor Swift do to you?
I just think I don't know.
Wow, there's a lot of Taylor Swift
I
hate
don't
going on
like
here.
her. I just don't like her music. I don't like any of it.
Taylor Swift's record company needs to break up with her.
She'll stalk them.
That's true. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. This was always a lot of fun when Lisa's here. I love Lisa. We go back so long. She's
Like
she's
Regis and Kathy Lee. That's how far we
Absolutely.
go back. And like a little.
I wish I've said it to several people in here. I wish I could pay because then I know people would come in more often. But it is that good to me when certain people are here, including you. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It really is. We've always had so much fun
Yep.
together. Lisa's she's like my sister, and I adore her. So
100%.
thank you. Glad you're here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
You know what? Real quick before we go. So tonight. So we're out of here. Of course, we're not back over the weekend because of the holiday weekend. But tonight, of course, Donversations is on tonight, and he has shit. What did I do with it? He has a guest on tonight.
The Lord, because this is the day.
Right.
It's Good Friday. Nothing good about it. Why they call it
Yeah,
Good Friday,
why do they call?
right?
Yeah,
okay,
true.
That's another discussion.
And
See,
then
this is why we get along, is we just get discussions.
yeah, true. But then what do you say Happy Good Friday? Like, what do you do?
It's not a happy day.
Right. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you. So tonight.
I don't know.
I can't find it.
Clap your hands.
Oh, all right. This was it. I don't know if so tonight on Donversations. That's a show we have here. Don is talking to some guy named Pa Fresh, and I don't know who that is. To be honest with you.
Fresh?
Who's now? All right.
I just thought I saw it on the screen.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't know if this is the same guy.
Oh, I don't know.
I came across this video. Now, Don, who hosts the show, he's heavily into rap or hip hop, whatever you want to call it. So this guy, Papa Fresh, I mean, I don't know if this is. Check this shit out. It's like freaky and weird.
Machete backpacking, no lack, I'm hit him 1-2. Bang boogie the hoodie, no C. Been about the biz and we done cut him out now. Make him all flee. Pow pow, about to hit him, I split him. I got the shovel in the back of the forward drive. I kill him.
Do you know this guy?
No.
Oh. I got the shovel in the.
Why would I know this maniac?
I don't know if this is even the right guy.
Maybe it's not.
I don't know, but it's I figured because
Now
it's
I
hip
need to
hop.
tune in and find out. Because on Crystal Lake, he's got the mask.
With my luck, I'm playing the completely wrong guy because that's.
I hope so, because is he gonna be alone with him at night here?
No, they're actually zooming. So
okay,
actually, I
good.
think it was actually pre-recorded, so we know Don is safe.
All right.
So that's tonight at 8:00. Donversations. Happy Easter, happy Passover, all that good stuff. I will be back here on Monday, and we have all sorts of good stuff lined up. I think Mo is coming in here Monday, maybe, and then Tuesday, Hugh and Travis will be back here on Tuesday for Tuesday Trivia. Next Thursday, Brandon will be here. Mr. Poppin' Twist is joining us because it's the
Isn't that dough? Oh, that's Poppin' Fresh.
Poppin' Fresh. Poppin' Twist does balloon, but he's like super talented.
that's
He's
cool.
crazy good. But he's part of our family. He's been in here many times, but lately he hasn't because of work responsibilities. So we're looking forward to having him back. Andy will be back next Friday. Andy, hope you're feeling well. Andy was away this week, but ended up with food poisoning as he's driving home from where was it? North Carolina, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, he's been dealing with some shit. So hope he's feeling all right.
Literally.
Yeah. So and it is spring break for many next week. Are you off next week?
Yes.
So if anybody feels like coming in, contact me. Maybe we'll get some people in here.
Yeah.
And that too, you've been saved because I was going to ask you for wild spring break stories because I know you have them.
Yeah, I do.
So.
Yeah, I'll come back next week during spring break if you want to hear them there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Come back.
Some real wild ones.
Well, the door's open for you anytime. So, all right. So enjoy your Passover, enjoy your Easter, and all that good stuff. And Donversation tonight at 8 on the YouTube channel. And then we'll be back here on Monday. Everybody have a great, great weekend.
I'm going to try to spin.
Thanks. What's that?
I tried to spin.
Oh.
I did. My little legs.
So, yeah, you're not even pulling them off the floor. They're just off the floor.
Really? Ow.
And now you just smacked your foot.
Yeah. Bye. We're going to go to the emergency room now.
We'll see you guys later.